Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Codeman Movies. We got a episode this week and then next week I'm taking a week off. I'm going on vacation, I'm going to Chicago, I'm going to Lollapalooza and I'm very excited for that. I'll also admit that this week I didn't get to watch that many movies as much as I'd like. So I'm going to give you a little bit update on life here because you know what? I want to ask you guys some advice if you are listening, if you are willing to comment and give me some advice, ask some advice. Then we're going to talk about some movies, and then I'm going to do a spoiler discussion on Thor: Love and Thunder, because I watched the movie for a second time today, and I found that I liked it a bit more, but I still have a lot of issues with this movie, and all the issues are things I actually just kind of want to talk about in a spoiler discussion. So, yeah, that's kind of the agenda for tonight. Also, I wanted to mention, I'm going to start posting these at, like, midnight on Tuesday nights, because I just can't get them up at a consistent time. There's issues with loading. If I just put it up, schedule it to go up at midnight, it'll take the 3 hours it takes to freaking upload to YouTube for some stupid reason, and it'll go. And hopefully it'll be on time, and it's consistent timing, and I like consistent timing, so yeah. Anyways, guys, let's get started kind of with life here. So at the job I work at, we just cut hours. And we're not working. Our open hours 2 weeks ago was 11 a.m. till close. We cut our hours now to 3 to close, Wednesday through Friday, and then noon to close on Saturday and Sunday. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday I did 12 hours. Every single one of those days, 12 hours. And I found I'm still exhausted from it. My sleep schedule hasn't been as great. My mood hasn't been as great. Everything's just been kind of blah. I love where I work. I really do. I love our owners. I love everything about the place I work. But I really just want to quit. And it's really hard for me to do because I love the owners and I do love the job in a sense. But I don't want to use the word burnt out because I'm not someone to get burnt out. But I'm just not having fun anymore. I'm not quite as happy as I want to be. So again, I've said this before. I really want to put in my month's notice this week. And I don't know if I'm actually going to do it. I've said in the past I'm going to do it, and I've written the notice, had it in my pocket, and then I'm talking to the owner and realizing how wonderful our owners are, and I don't do it. I end up throwing away the month's notice, the written month's notice, and I can't do it. But I'm just at a point where I feel so unhappy that I think I'm going to do it this week. Again, we'll see what happens. But any advice from anybody out there, how do you think I should do this? Am I just tired and not realizing that I don't want to do this? I don't know. That's kind of the questions I'm asking. That's not really why I do this podcast, is to ask life advice. So we're not going to spend too much time on this, but just something that's going on in life, and I wanted to share. If my energy is kind of low today, it's because of that. I'm just exhausted and struggling to figure out what I'm going to do. But without further ado, guys, let's start talking about movies, about some TV shows. Grab your beer. Today I got an ooey gooey peanut butter jelly sour. I don't know if you can really tell. Ooh, ooey gooey peanut butter jelly. This is actually really good. It's from the Brewing Project, again in Eau Claire. I've seen a lot of Brewing Project lately because I'm bringing some to Chicago for my buddy who used to live in Eau Claire and now he doesn't. So I'm bringing some Eau Claire home to him in Chicago so that he can feel like he's back at home. There we go. Now you can see my face a little better. I was sitting on a little cushion thing. Let's start talking about stuff, shall we? And for starters, let's talk about Miss Marvel. Miss Marvel has been a 6-week show that we've gotten on Disney+. And my review week to week has been, this show is very enjoyable. It's fun. Special effects aren't necessarily the greatest, but the story of Kamala, her family, her Pakistani family, her culture, her heritage, everything about her that is well written. I think it's well written anyway, and it's just kind of a beautiful story about family that just so happens to be this Marvel show, and I've really enjoyed it. The other thing I've really said about it is it's a great show for kids. And I kind of agree with that still, even with this finale episode. It really is just a great show for kids to get attached to. like all shows, I kind of need to binge this. I don't remember everything that happened in episode 1. I need to watch this all in one and then just spoil the hell out of it, and that'll give me my final thoughts on the show. Just putting a number out there, what I thought of this show, I'm going to give this show like an 8 out of 10. Again, I need to just kind of watch it all as one big movie. I'm not big on watching TV shows week to week because I just can't remember everything. It's amazing how that works because I'll remember everything about a movie, but a TV show I just can't do. And I think part of it could just be that I'm at home and my phone is there. Sometimes the phone comes up. It doesn't usually happen. I'm not a big millennial in that sense where I constantly need to be looking at my phone, but sometimes I just get sidetracked or I'm thinking about other things. Whereas in a theater, it's dark, phone has to be turned off for me, and I'm just there for an experience. I'm paying for the experience, so it has to be an experience. Whereas at home, it's not necessarily like that. So as of now, this show's an 8 out of 10. Could change, depending on what I think of it after watching it all in one big TV movie kind of thing. So that's Miss Marvel. Really enjoyable show. Really enjoyable show. It gives me some hope for what the future of Marvel movies could be, which we'll talk a little bit more about that later. We know my thoughts, if you've been watching before anyway. You know my thoughts on Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. I didn't love that movie. I haven't been super excited about Phase 4 with Marvel anyway, so this show gives me some hope. And my computer. Next up, guys. I watched a Netflix movie called The Man from Toronto. For starters, I gotta tell you guys, I don't like Kevin Hart. He is the same thing in all of his movies. He's the short black guy who talk like this, and then, he gets all crazy and scared and blah. It's all the same for me. I've liked him in some things, like Jumanji Welcome to the Jungle and Jumanji The Next Level. I think he is more making... It's a satire of himself almost, that it's not quite the same thing. It is still kind of the same thing, but it's not quite the same thing. I liked him in The Upside, where he was just giving a subdued performance. There's a bug right there, and it's driving me nuts. So, I like Kevin Hart in certain things. I haven't liked him in a lot of things, though. This movie was not one of those ones where I like him in. I did not like Kevin Hart in this movie. He's the exact same person as every single movie you've ever seen him in. Woody Harrelson in this movie is fantastic. The story of this movie is that Kevin Hart's character gets misunderstood for being a hitman that Woody Harrelson plays. Stupid, dumb plot. Really, it's so dumb. From the director of Hitman's Bodyguard's wife. Both the movies I went, they're fine. This movie is, it's fine too. It's just really dumb, honestly. It's just kind of a their movie, and I'm realizing I forgot to do something. One second, I'll be right back. 1 second, don't leave. Guys, once again, for like the second week in a row, I'm doing this in my underwear because, well, like I said, it's been an extremely long week, and it is what it is. You can't see it today because I made sure that you can't see it because that would be disrespectful to you as a viewer. Yet every week I forget about the iPad. So I'm trying to use the iPad because I've been, writing my thoughts on things more so that I have a more clear vision of what I want to talk about, and so I don't forget about things that I want to talk about. This iPad is also ancient and old. I think I bought this in 2012. It's still semi-working. For this purpose, though, it works fantastic. But it's also helpful in situations like this. This movie is very forgettable to me. And so I kind of just want to look back at some of the things I said about it. Like I said, Hart is the same. The story is ridiculous. It's just dumb. There is a particular fight that it's supposed to kind of look like the Kingsman kind of fight, where it's like slow motion, one shot. It's good. It's also PG-13, Whereas the Kingsman one is R, and I honestly don't love the Kingsman one. I just think it's ridiculous, too ridiculous and over the top. Similar in this situation too. It's just ridiculous and over the top. It's a little too dumb. Jokes are dumb. There's some really cheesy stuff that happens. The movie gets so unrealistic at times that I found myself just being taken out of it. There are people that are hit by cars in this movie, and the special effects look so bad because the people look like Play-Doh as they're getting hit by car. And it's just laughably bad. The story itself of these two characters switching places, it just doesn't make sense. It doesn't work. It's just not believable. It's just, what did I write here? It's cliche, not interesting, not memorable. All three of those things I agree because I don't remember much about it. I remember it being cliche. I think I watched this on Wednesday. I don't remember anything about it. It's just not that great of a movie. Is it the worst movie in the world? No. This is a good movie to watch on Netflix and have a few drinks to. Honestly, it's fine. It's harmless. It's just, At the end of the day, I'm gonna give this movie a 4 out of 10, guys. It's not good. It's not awful. It's not so bad I want to kill myself, but it's not a good movie. It's not a good movie. It's definitely a movie that, as I'm talking about, I just want to drink more of this. 6.3% alcohol for a pint. Next up, guys, I went and saw the movie Paws of Fury. I remember seeing trailers for this and just going, there's a lot of great voice actors in this movie. I don't think this movie's gonna be any good, but there's a lot of good voice actors in there, a lot of famous people. My owners, speaking of my owners, their granddaughters are up, and they had went and seen this movie and said, Cody, you should see this movie. You like movies. They're like 8 and 5 years old or something like that. I don't know, something like that. They're young. So I went, okay, I'll go see it. So I went and saw it on Monday, yesterday. And I get to the theater, and because I know everyone at the theater, they go, Cody, what movie you seeing? I go, Paws Theory. They go, why? And I go, because I see everything. And they go, true. And I was like, and I don't want to go see the Crawdads movie. And they're like, why not? There's people that have been going to see Crawdads. And I'm like, yeah, but no. It just doesn't look like a Cody kind of movie. And maybe eventually I'll watch it, but it just doesn't look like a movie I want to see. But yeah, I was getting some judgment for seeing this movie from the people at the theater, which was really fun. This is a fine kids movie, guys. There's some actual beautiful animation in this movie. It switches, like they'll be telling a story or a flashback or something, and it switches animation. The jokes in this movie are all poop and pee jokes. I mean, spoiler, I guess, kind of, if you care. The big finale fight of this movie takes place on a giant toilet that Ricky Gervais's character calls the Super Bowl. That's the kind of jokes you get in this movie. Are they good? No. Were they funny? I mean, I laughed a couple times, but it's not that good. No. The movie's very meta. It knows it's a movie. Michael Cera's character literally looks at the camera and goes, hey guys, this is a 75-minute movie. We got to start wrapping this up. So there's jokes like that are really fun and interesting. There's some very adult jokes in this movie. They say shit in this movie. It's through a smoke cloud, and they have S, and then, you know, the tic-tac-toe @ symbol, you know. And it's like 2 seconds. Like, I went, holy shit, did they just use the word shit? And I had to look it up afterwards to make sure. And they did. They 100% did. There's jokes to movies in this movie. Blazing Saddle jokes. So that was interesting. You know, jokes that adults would like. So it wasn't exactly what I was expecting. I was expecting this to be not good at all. And it's fine. I did fall asleep for 10 minutes of this movie. There is a sequence in which Michael Cera's character, the dog, fights this big orange kitty cat character. I don't remember that sequence. I fell asleep. I woke up and they were like, oh, I defeated the big kitty cat character. Again, I was tired after working those 13-hour days and 12-hour days, whatever they were. And yeah, I fell asleep. So it's a movie to fall asleep to, I'll tell you that, but it's not awful. It's a fine little kid movie. There's some decent lessons about believing in yourself and don't give up on yourself, blah, blah, blah. You know, we've seen it all before. It's very cliche. You know, it's more of a streaming movie than it is a theater movie. I wouldn't recommend anyone go to the theater to see this movie. If you have A-list like I do, I guess, but I wouldn't even recommend it then. Go see something else. Go see Top Gun again. Yeah, but it's fine. It's fine. It's totally fine. It's a movie you can watch with your kids when it's on Paramount Plus in 40 days, and it's fine. That's literally all I can say about it. It's fine. I was also looking up this movie on IMDb, because the minute it got done, I'm like, that was kind of Blazing Saddles in a sense. Like, yes, there's some Blazing Saddles jokes in there, but there are moments that literally just feel like Blazing Saddles. And I was on IMDb, and it says this was, like, announced as a Blazing Saddles remake. And I can tell. It's not quite a remake, I wouldn't say, but there's a lot of Blazing Saddles in this movie. Mel Brooks is a character, too, in this movie as well. It doesn't even say that on the poster. Interesting. Mel Brooks does have a voice. He does have a character in this movie. I think he co-wrote part of the script and stuff. So, I mean, he's a part of the movie. Yeah, at the end of the day, this is a fine kids movie. It's nothing spectacular. We'll go 4 out of 10. It's not awful, not amazing. Let's talk about something that is amazing, though, that I already just talked about. Top Gun Maverick, guys. I watched this movie for a 4th time. Guys, this movie is just such a great action film. It's just a great movie, period. It has a great story, great acting, great emotional moments. Yesterday, when I got into the theater, I was kind of worried. There was like these 4, I think there's a total of 6 people in there. All 6 of them were like young college freshmen, sophomores. And the minute I got in there, they were Snapchatting with the flash on. They were they were just so obnoxious and loud and annoying. And I went, oh boy, I'm not excited about this. This is not good. And the movie started, and they were whispering, and it was that where you could still hear it. I didn't let it bug me too much. And as soon as the action kicks in with the movie, actually, they shut up. They were invested. Now, once the action sequences stopped, once there was just scenes where they were talking, they started talking some more themselves. But as soon as that action hit, they were back in it. They were invested. And even some moments where the characters were just talking. I remember specifically the scene, spoilers, the scene where Pete and Penny are talking about why he pulled Brewster's papers. They were silent. They really did want to know why Pete pulled those papers. And if that doesn't show you how good of a movie this is, I don't know what flippin' does. 6 obnoxious teenagers, basically, college students, whatever the hell they were, being quiet during the movie because they realized how good it was. That's awesome. So, Top Gun Maverick, just incredible. Again, there's just some minor things with this movie that I don't love. There's some conveniences. There are some things that are 100% unrealistic. The fact that at the beginning of the movie he's going Mach 10.2 and he falls out of the sky and he's alive, I don't know about that. Like, Mach 10's like, what? A bajillion miles an hour and he's just fine? The freaking jet freaking bursts into flames, basically, he's fine. I mean, that's a little crazy. There is this theory going around that he actually dies in that accident, and everything in the movie after that is just kind of what he hoped the rest of his life would be as he's in heaven. Like, he's dead, and that's why it seems so beautiful and cloudy and unrealistic. I don't know. I don't care about that theory necessarily, but I choose to ignore these little things because the movie is just so good. You know, the mission itself even is crazy and insane and unrealistic, but it's so good. So flippin' good. How Pete is still in the Navy when he's as old as he is. Who cares? Rooster being the age he is, even though he's had 4 years taken off his career. Who cares? It's just such a great movie, guys. I love this movie so much, and I just love it. I love it so much, guys. Absolutely phenomenal movie. It really is. Truly my second favorite movie of the year, I think. I'd go second. It's such a good movie. Such a good movie. I love Top Gun Maverick. Such a great movie. And if you haven't seen this movie in a theater, I spoiled it a little bit. I apologize. But you need to go see it in a theater. I keep telling people they need to see this in a theater. Need to see this in a theater. This is a theater experience. The fact that Tom Cruise introduces the movie and says these are real Machs, real jets, real speed. I mean, that right there just goes to show the people in this movie cared, and they did want to make a good movie, and they did make a damn good movie. This movie's made almost $1.3 billion at the box office. That's insane. Freaking insane. It's the top grossing movie of the year, domestic and worldwide. Absolutely incredible. Cannot be more happy for this movie. It's just such a good movie. Next up, guys, we're going to talk about Just Married. Just Married is a movie we watched for my film group that I'm a part of. I actually just got done watching it before starting this podcast with you guys here. I had never seen this movie before until tonight. And part of the reason I never did is just because I've heard such terrible things about it, that it was such an awful movie. So I never wanted to watch this movie, and when I found out this movie we were watching this week, I went, eh. And I was going, yeah, this is going to be a stupid, dumb movie. I'm going to drink a few beers, and I'm going to enjoy myself. And I'm somewhat happy to say, I guess, that this movie's not awful. It's not good. If you don't know, it's about this young couple. They meet, they get married pretty quickly. They're on their honeymoon. Everything on their honeymoon goes wrong. Everything. And the beginning of the movie is them literally going, that's it, we're done. This honeymoon was so terrible. I don't like you anymore. Bye. And then the movie takes it back through the events to why they got to this place. And while this movie's not good, it has some really dumb jokes. There's some dumb things in it. It's kind of bad enjoyable. And again, having a couple drinks, it doesn't hurt watching this movie. Acting in it's fine. The writing's fine. It feels like a lot of this movie was just kind of improvised, and it's fine. It's not awful. It's along the same lines of Paws of Fury, honestly. It's there. It's a movie. It's a movie you can watch with your girlfriend if she likes this kind of stuff. If she loves Ashton Kutcher, well, great. Watch this one. It's fine. Brittany Murphy, who is no longer with us, R.I.P. She's good looking in it. I mean, it's not a horrible movie to watch. I can't believe I'm saying this. I thought this movie was going to be crap, and I was going to give it like a 2 out of 10, but it's fine. 4 out of 10. Same as Paw of Fury. It's a movie. I saw it. Yeah. That's about all I'm going to say about it. It's fine. It's exactly what you would think it would be, essentially, really. But maybe a little better than what you thought it was going to be, because I thought this movie was going to be absolute crap, and it's not absolute crap. It's just fine. So that's that. So yeah, guys, that's the movies I've seen this week. I honestly haven't gotten to see a lot. But I do want to talk a little movie called Thor, Love and Thunder. I love Thor Ragnarok. I absolutely love Thor Ragnarok. So I was hopeful for this movie. Trailers came out, and it made me less hopeful. And then I saw it last week, and I hated it. I really did hate it. I saw it in 3D. The 3D was terrible. And it also distracted me from the movie, I think, a little bit, because I liked the movie a little bit more this time around. Last week I gave it a 4 out of 10. I'm going to give it a 5 out of 10 at this point. And we're just going to get into this movie. I'm going to spoil it. If you guys have not seen Thor, Love and Thunder, you don't want to hear about it, then stop watching. Because this is what I want to talk about. I want to talk about Thor, Love and Thunder here. And I literally was taking notes. I don't know if you can even see this. I was taking so many notes at the theater. Like, there is a big butt paragraph of everything I just kind of disliked and liked about this movie. And I really just want to go through all of it. Starting with that opening. It is a great opening with Gore. You understand why he gets to the way he is, the mentality that he's at. He watches his daughter die. And he prays to these gods that are supposed to help him. And they don't. And that is a powerful, powerful moment. But then he goes into the woods and stuff, and the god is so ridiculous and so over the top. And the minute that scene pops up, that first time I went, and even this time I went, for the love of God, don't let this be the rest of the movie. Fortunately, that's the rest of the movie, though. It's just ridiculous and over the top and dumb. It's also so silly and convenient. Like, Gore's daughter dies, and all of a sudden this forest pops up, and it just so happens that they killed this god who had the magical sword to make Gore go bad. Like, just so happens. Like, so convenient. It's so dumb. And then the movie starts. There's way too much Korg in this movie. Way too much Korg. Every time Korg is narrating is terrible. I did not like it. For the trailer, it's fine. For the movie, it's just not, it did not work. I didn't need to see the flashback of the other movies. It just reminded me how good of movies those were and how bad this one is. So way too much Korg. And then the minute you see Thor at the beginning of the movie, he's grabbing Stormbreaker and riding him like the Wicked Witch of the West. Why? Why? The thing I thought of was freaking Korg and Ragnarok going, oh, you rode on the Hammer's back and it took you to magical places, or whatever the hell he says. That's exactly what happens in this movie. Like, Ragnarok is making fun of this movie because it's that bad. And I can't stand it. I couldn't stand it. It's so dumb. Thor's a complete idiot in this movie. The way he's fighting at the beginning, for the love of God. He wasn't that big of an idiot in Endgame when he was depressed, fat bro Thor. And he's a bigger idiot this time around. It just doesn't make sense. His arc makes no sense in this movie. The freaking blue people, King, Yukon, Icon, whatever his name is, they're stupid. The way they're into frame is so stupid. Going into positives, though, during that fight, there's some beautiful imagery. You see it in the poster where Thor's got Stormbreaker and he's going across the sky. Beautiful. I want to put that up on my freaking wall. If it was in freaking Avengers Endgame or something in a better movie. Beautiful imagery in this movie. Beautifully shot at times. Beautifully directed at times. And then there's just other moments that are not. And then, like, he's doing his stupid split things, which Star-Lord literally rolls his eyes the exact same time I have done both times now. I'm just like, oh my God. Is this seriously happening? Thor is doing the splits to stop two ships from coming at it. It's so stupid. So stupid. I hate that. Dennings and Skarsgård are in this movie for 10 seconds. Skarsgård literally recorded his at home. Dennings is in it for like, what, 30 seconds? Pointless, stupid, don't need to be in there. Just why? I don't mind that Jane Foster has cancer. I know that's something that's happened in the comics. I think it works in that sense. And I like the idea that she is like, I need to find the cure for this myself. I need to be the one to save people from cancer. And then she gets drawn to Mjolnir, which I don't know about that. I guess it's a big convenient thing that happens, but I'll buy it. I'll buy that. I also want to talk about the Guns N' Roses in this movie. There's a lot of Guns N' Roses songs. And unlike Thor Ragnarok, again, I'm going to keep comparing this to Thor Ragnarok. Thor Ragnarok, opening of the movie has Immigrant. The end of the movie has Immigrant. Works. It's not a lot. It's just enough. This movie felt like Taika Waititi wanted to be James Gunn. but he didn't want to copy James Gunn exactly and didn't want to make this just 80s music. So he just got Guns N' Roses, which doesn't work. There's so many different times that music just starts up in this movie. It's like, why? It's there for 10 seconds and it's gone. It's to make you try to like the movie more than you actually do. I hate that. I hate it. Absolutely hate that Asgard is like Disneyland. Like, tourists are there, infinity cones. The freaking Infinity Gauntlet wiped out half of humanity for 5 years, and this is something we've turned into ice cream? Are you flipping kidding me? That's so stupid. I hate that. I hate that. Hate that. Hate that. Hate that. And then you have the flipping cameo scene with Matt Damon and Thor's brother and Sam O'Neill, or Chris Hemsworth's brother. It's trying so hard to be what the last Thor was, and I knew that scene's coming. It got leaked that Melissa McCarthy is Hela. That scene is just dumb. It's too much. It goes on way too long. It's not funny. It's just stupid. I would have preferred that scene get cut out, and instead you just have, like, Matt Damon there doing his scene that he does do, which I did think was funny. What if we had a reenactment of this? The people need an escape, which kind of reminded me of COVID, too, in a sense. I liked that joke. The entire bit where they're doing the play and recapping the third one is just, not a fan. Man, way too much. Screaming Goats. The minute they did it, I went, oh my god, this is stupid annoying. And every time they do it, it's stupid annoying. It's not funny. I don't find it particularly humorous at all. I just found it annoying and stupid. And just, oh my god, the screaming. It's so stupid. Hate that. Hate that. The moments we do get with Gore are great. He's a great villain. We just don't get enough of him. There's the first battle he has with Thor. Then he's with the kids being all creepy with the head thing. That's awesome. And then he's basically in that end battle where it's black and white. And then that other end battle with just Thor and the kids. And that's it. I mean, excuse me, guys. I'm sorry. That'll help. He looks great. He's menacing as hell. But the movie itself just has so much comedy that it wipes out the drama and the horror aspects of this movie. Because Gore is horrific. He's terrifying. But it just gets wiped out by jokes. And I hate that. I just hate that. Another example of that is also that we really don't see Gore doing nothing. He's Gore, the god killer, but we don't see him kill any gods except for that first god at the beginning of the movie. There's that big god that Thor says he's the greatest god ever, so nice. We don't see that. We don't see him in battle with Sith, which, let's talk about Sith. Oh my god. She's there to be a joke. Not once has Thor talked to her in that way, but it's just joke. Your arm might go to Valhalla, but you don't. Valhalla, by the way. God. So you have to die in battle to be in Valhalla. So that means Thor's dad is definitely not in Valhalla. What should that mean? That freaking, I guess Heimdall would be in Valhalla. But still, he technically doesn't die in battle. He's laying there after a battle, and then he gets stabbed. Just how they get to Valhalla is stupid. In this movie, it makes no sense to me. Thor's just a drama queen in this movie. It's just, he feels like a teenage girl. I have hiccups, I apologize. He feels like a teenage girl in this movie. Just teenage romance. And it just, oh my god. It's so bad. Valkyrie is given nothing to do. She has a couple badass moments, but I mean, Tessa Thompson in this movie just feels like she's like, I was brought in to do this. Are you fucking kidding me? I feel the same way. She was brought in to do this. Are you fucking kidding me? She is such a badass character in Ragnarok that she does nothing in this movie. It just pisses me off. It pisses me the F off. Why all of a sudden are Stormbreaker and Mjolnir like pets in this movie? Thor, yes, was very attached to his hammer and Stormbreaker in the other movies, but it's not like it was a pet. It was just a big freaking cool awesome weapon. And in this movie, it's like a dog. Like, oh, I'm petting the dog, and then Stormbreaker comes over. Hey, don't pet that other dog. Like, what the hell? Where did this come from? Like, this movie is just so out of tone with all the other things that have come before it that I can't stand it. I just hate that. I enjoyed the flashbacks of seeing Thor and Jane together. I really did enjoy that aspect. And that worked for me. It was cartoony and dumb, like how they're rollerblading and Mjolnir's pulling them. I like that. You can see that being a real relationship thing. It's the cheesy honeymoon phase of a relationship. I enjoyed that aspect of it. And then you kind of find out why she gets the hammer, because Thor said she's worthy. He didn't say she's worthy. He just said, hey, take care of her. And it's just like, I don't like it. When did Heimdall have a kid? I mean, in all these movies, he's been going through life-altering events, and we don't mention his kid once. I mean, Ragnarok. Asgard's gone. We didn't think to go, hey, where's my kid? Where's the kid? Where's Oxel, or whatever his name is? I just don't buy that all of a sudden we meet his kid that's like 10 years old or whatever he is. Stupid. Hate that. I just hate that. So convenient and so stupid. Again, humor just downplays the drama in this movie, and I can't stand it. Every time it happens, it's just, there were some great drama or great moments, and then it's just downplayed. Joke, and I can't stand that. Thor's also, again, going back to Thor being an idiot, too. Like, he's just breaking things. Like an idiot. He's like a drunk idiot. But again, that was the last movie. Let's move on from that. He should have moved on from that. Like, that's what I thought this movie was going to be more about, of him moving on. And he doesn't. And if anything, he goes back more. And it's just, yeah. Green shit. Green screen in this movie. There's a lot of moments where, and I think that's why I really hated the 3D, and why I hated the movie so much the first time. The green screen is bad in this movie in a lot of different scenes, and 3D just brought it out more. And you can tell, like, towards the end where they're in the little water area, you can tell that they did some of this on the volume, and it looks a little better, but there's just scenes where they're on green screen, it looks so bad, and I just can't stand it. When they go to the flippin' God world, whatever the hell it's called, and we meet Zeus. Zeus is so stupid in this movie. He's such an idiot. The way he lifts up his little fucking dress. I hate that. Zeus is just a joke in this movie. He's supposed to be this cool guy. I've taken so much inspiration from him. He's an idiot. He's stupid. Yeah, I can see where you took your inspiration, I guess. And then when Thor goes naked, what's with the stupid Loki tattoo? I don't believe for a second that Thor would get a tattoo like that. Maybe something like Loki's helmet on his arm, but a big-ass back tattoo the way he does. And I can't tell if, like, his mother and father are mentioned on there at all, but all I can see on that tattoo is Loki. Loki was the thing that was most important to him, not his mother and father? Come on. No. I hate that. I hate that. There's this thing called eternity brought up in this movie. Thanos wanted to wipe out half of humanity. He had to go collect 6 Infinity Stones to do it. Couldn't he have just gone to eternity and wished for it? Wouldn't it have been easier? Maybe he doesn't know about it. Okay, I'll accept that. Thor knew about it. When they were going to go back in time to get the 6 stones, wouldn't it have been easier just to, I don't know, go to eternity and do it? Like, big plot hole there to me. I hate that. I don't like it. This was lazy writing, in my opinion. It's written by 5-year-olds. That's what it really is at the end of the day. Zeus and Korg. Like, no one dies in this movie. No one dies. Zeus is 100% dead. He got stabbed through his entire body with a freaking bolt of lightning, and he's just alive at the end. Don't buy it. Korg is a face at the end, and then he grows back. What? This isn't Guardians. Again, it's Taika Waititi wanting to be freaking James Gunn, and it's no. Stop. I hate that. I just can't stand it. I want to make sure this is working. I know my phone was kind of starting to lose some battery, so I got to make sure that's still working. So yeah, I can't stand that. The kids are stuck in freaking Gore's cage. And they're making jokes. Thor's coming in and making jokes. Valkyrie's doing her hair thing with Thor. They're like in Hannibal Lecter's dungeon being puts the lotion in the basket or gets the hose again. Like, that bugs me. That bugs the hell out of me. Why are they joking in this situation? It's not something to joke about. They're like, oh my God. This movie just makes me want to drink more. When watching the trailers, I like that aspect of the black and white sequence. In the movie, it's cool at parts, but at the end of the day, it was just kind of there to be there. There was really no purpose in my book to that black and white sequence. It's just there to be stylistic, but with no purpose. And again, that scene is so powerful and dramatic. And the next scenes are joke, 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 joke. Joke, 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 joke. And then Thor, Lady Thor, Jane and Valkyrie are injured. So Thor's just like, I'm gonna go fight. They just fought, 3 of them together. With Mjolnir, Stormbreaker. Well, not Stormbreaker, but Mjolnir, the lightning bolt, and they lost. Why do they think that, well, no, they had Stormbreaker too. Why do they think that Thor can just do it by himself with lightning bolt? That makes no sense. It's stupid. Look, I'm trashing on this movie, but this movie does have fun moments. There's some fun action sequences. Like, the black and white sequence is great. It just could have been better, I think. And the opening sequence could be great. It's joke, 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 joke. End is great. But then there's just also, like, the things with the kids. Why can Thor just give away his powers now? Is because of the lightning bolt? Like, Thor never was able to do that before. Don't you think that would have been helpful in fighting Thanos if all of them had the power of Thor? Like, I don't get that. This movie just feels like it's written by kids. It just... And then why couldn't Thor put Mjolnir back together? Like, Jane could, but because Thor's not dying of cancer, he can't? I didn't get that. That was stupid, too. Just a lot of stupid stuff in this movie, guys. Like I said, Christian Bale's fantastic. All the acting, for the most part, is fantastic. I actually thought Jane was better this time around. I think the 3D really distracted me from the movie last time. And I thought Natalie Portman's acting was very bad. It's not bad. She does a great job, actually. I still think it's probably as good as the other 2 movies, though. I don't think it's an incredible performance. I think she's just doing great. With what she's given, she does the best she can. There's some decent special effects, but then there's other special effects that suck. The goats look terrible. And just some stupid things they do. Just like making Asgard Disneyland. At the end of the day, guys, again, this movie's a 5 out of 10 for me now. Is it the worst Marvel movie? No. Is it in the top 5 worst Marvel movies? Yes. In my opinion, it is. This should not be a fresh movie, even in my book. This is a bad movie. It's not bad. It's just an okay. It's just movie. So much potential, and it just threw it all away with jokes. And it's just disappointing. It really is. That's about all I got to talk about, guys. Like I said, this next week I will be taking off. I'm going to be in Chicago. I am going to Lollapalooza. I'm going to have fun and be hanging out with my buddy of mine that I haven't seen in a year. Well, a little less than, it's been less than a year because he came to Eau Claire. But anyways, the point is, I haven't seen my buddy in a while. Someone's drag racing down Main Street. It's been a long time, so I'm going to enjoy my vacation, guys. I'll have 2 weeks worth of stuff, hopefully. I probably get to watch a lot this next week or the week after that, essentially, either because I'll be busy. But I'll see what I can do. I'm going to try to go see Nope while in Chicago. I think I'm going to go to the movies a couple times, maybe in Chicago. since my buddy will be working, so I'll have to leave him alone during the day, which is fine. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see how much I get to watch, how much I get to do. But as of now, guys, that's the end of this episode. I hope you enjoyed. Please comment below. Let me know your opinions on movies. Let me know your opinions on what I should do in my life. I'm going to finish my beer here. Tell me what movies you want me to see. I will watch interesting and new movies because I want to do that for you guys. Just thank you so much for watching and stuff. Thanks for liking, subscribing, all that fun crap. Again, I don't necessarily care about that, but at the same time, I want to build this community. I want people to be able to escape the way I do doing this every week because this is fun for me and it is an escape for me from the stressful life that I live. So yeah, guys, I hope you have an enjoyable week. Definitely fun talking to you guys about it. I'm glad we got to spoil Thor a little bit. I feel better now. I hope you do too. So yeah, guys, we'll see you in a couple weeks. Have yourselves a great one. We'll see you next time. Bye.